Searching for music for your next video? Then you need to check out our list.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Common Skate Art stream. My name is Brian. How you guys doing? Sorry for the extended intro. I was dealing with these dogs, and they needed to be outside a little longer than I thought. We're doing some boarding, and there's a dog named Toby that's pretty fucking needy. So, how are you guys today? And how's the sound and all that? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's get into it. I'm gonna start working on these refined lines for Englewood. I'm on page 3. And yeah, pretty happy with this so far. So what's the latest with Vic Mignogna? I've heard his name coming up a bit lately. Anybody know? This. I showed the Bagel Boss earlier because I thought it was a funny meme, and it does say a lot about, you know, where we are as a society. I think it does say a lot. I feel bad for the guy. I do, honestly. I don't think that it's okay to, like, flip out at everybody. I think that's, you know, but I understand where the rage is coming from. You know, fat people can lose weight, but short people, they're just stuck. And for whatever reason, I mean, I know there is a evolutionary reason for it. Men like their women short. Short women are attractive to men. But short men, generally not that attractive to women unless you compensate in some way. Like I've heard, I think Roaming Millennial made a video, and she, you know, went to Peter Dinklage and was like, Peter Dinklage is short and he has a really hot wife. And I'm like, yeah, Peter Dinklage is a fucking movie star. Like, it's not just, oh, you know, you're short and this isn't gonna work. It's, you're short and you're not super famous. Like, you're not compensating in some other way. I mean, let's not fool ourselves here. You know, there are some women that are okay with or into short men, but by and large, that's not the case, because the short man has to find another way to, like, make that woman feel safe, which is what they're basing it on. He acted like a Chad Alpha during his deposition. Ken's got the scoop. Vic? That's good. The bagel guy had allegedly done this all over. Monday Blue posted a follow-up video after he uploaded his response to the first video. No, I'm sure. That guy had a YouTube channel, I guess, where, you know, it was like him just, like, getting into fights with people. So I believe it. And what I'm saying is, like, being a dick, it doesn't help. However, you gotta ask yourself. Like, I've known lots of short guys, and I've only known one that wasn't an asshole. And I understand that they feel like they've been dealt a bad hand genetically, and that's one of their problems, so they, like, take it out on the world, right? I think that that's pretty normal. So, like, it's not I'm not giving him a pass for his behavior, but it helps to understand where it comes from, and I understand it. Oh, and they all like get fit, you know, like they all went to the gym because they're trying to compensate, right? And I'm not saying that going to the gym is just compensation. I think that, you know, people should try to take care of themselves. But what I'm saying is that when short guys go to the gym, it is usually like an effort to try to like compensate for their small stature. Plus, if you're short, it's actually easier to get ripped. I already told you guys about the guy who was digitized to play Jax for the original Mortal Kombat 2. And how he was, you know, he lived in Chicago, and he was like, you know, just over 5 feet tall, maybe. He was small. He was a manlet. And, you know, I don't think that that's, I think that that's normal. I mean, that makes sense that they would do that. So it's just my experience. I don't know if there are any short people watching. I don't mean to attack. I'm not attacking short people. I'm trying to express sympathy, and maybe I'm a little sloppy at it. That's just a coincidence. He's famous. It happens. He has a YouTube channel full of similar events, right? Yeah. Pallets of cash and fame compensate for pretty much everything. Short man syndrome. An angry short guy. You mean Wolverine? Yeah, I want this guy to play Wolverine. They should cast this dude as Wolverine. If he lost some weight, grew out all that hair, he'd be perfect. Wolverine was like 4'11" or something like that. He was really small in the comics. I'd like them to like go back, because they're going to have to recast anyways, right? They should go back and cast Wolverine the way he was supposed to look. I want to see if he still remains a sex symbol. In fact, I think that it would just be good to do that anyway. Because, you know, I mean, this is accurate to the way the books were, for one. But also, you know, maybe get some short representation in there. I mean, most of Hollywood is short, but they never present themselves as their actual height. You know? Interestingly enough. Wolverine was 5'3". I know he was short. And that was actually, and it's interesting because that's where the name comes from. He was named the Wolverine because he was small, but had claws, right? Like he was small and dangerous. So interestingly enough, they just like left that out. Like they didn't even go into it in the X-Men movies. It was like they completely ignored that about him. That was actually a part of the concept. Designing 1,000 black signs with white text is soul destroying. Yikes. I wonder how he will fare when his celebrity fades and she loses interest in him because he is no longer relevant. Well, this guy's pretty woke on women, so he's probably like banking on that possibility. He said he doesn't trust women, and he does a lot of, like, he, you know, was part of online dating. If he is somewhat red pilled, even if it's just by like his life experience. So I wouldn't worry about it. That's the reason why we named the meme is called, you know, it doesn't matter how short you are, if you're famous, a thought will show up. So maybe he knows that. Maybe he knows that she's just there because he's famous. I don't know. I would like to believe that. I'd hate for this guy to get boned on that. No pun intended. Alright. I'll draw this guy's head. I have to decide what I want it to look like. It's a Control-Z Quake. Sorry about that. It's gonna happen sometimes till I figure out what to do. Might have to give this a rotation. Okay. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I'm a short guy. I don't have any trouble. If you're short but well proportioned, you can get by. Bagel Boss looks like he has a gene or two out of place. Stubby arms and legs. A head that looks like an adult head on a child's body. Yeah, well. Richard says, I am short, 5'5". That's still taller than Wolverine. And Wolverine crushes ass.
Here in Brianfornia, Z quakes are frequent, but everyone is happy. Safest place on Earth.
Thank you, Zeranx. This guy's face is getting pulled. That's why I'm drawing it like that. Okay. Wait, what the hell am I? What the hell is this music? Whatever. I'm just gonna leave it. Man, let's unite. Yeah, really. I'm 5'10", 5'11", something like that. About 5'10". I don't have any troubles. I think when you're in that 5'9" to 6 foot range, you're relatively safe. But when you go below that, I think that there is definitely judgment from women. All right. This guy's getting his face grabbed. Here's his arm. There we go. Hi, Jojo. Jojo just came and curled up next to me. Yeah, 5'10" is average. If a woman is like, I need a man that's, 6 feet tall or whatever, or there was a meme a while back of like a big girl making like a face of disapproval or concern, and the meme said, when a man's height starts with 5, as if to say she won't date a man that's less than 6 feet tall. And I mean, look, you're entitled to your taste. I'm not going to tell someone what their taste has to be. However, if you ever get that from a woman, then you let them know when their weight starts with 2, that's where you draw the line. Because weight can be controlled, even if height can't. Actually, do this another way. Anything new going on in the news, or I haven't really been up on current events since yesterday's show. So I don't know if I'm missing something or what. Okay. All right. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Richard, I don't have any game. Did you watch the Incel doc? No, not yet. I'm sorry. I'm going to today, hopefully. Tuesdays are always super busy for me. Let's see. Nothing is free to play. I don't think I've ever been part of a community that I've liked at its core. There's a few that I wouldn't want to be stuck in a room with. Ouch. Is it because the tism is too strong, or? And I don't say this disparagingly. I mean, I'm just asking. I think that the tism can like do great things, or at least very impressive things. I mean, the tism got us, literal cannibal Shia LaBeouf, made him famous for more than just ruining a franchise. I'm hyped for the HBR variation on MST 3000. Yeah, I gotta ask about that, like how to implement it and stuff. I think that'd be fucking fun though. And bring on guests like Jay Longbone. Let's see. People are showing that their emotional circuits are more active than their logical circuits are. Trump and his recent tweets. Absolutely. A 17-year-old girl was murdered by a guy from the internet, and the feminists are blaming MRAs and incels. Do we know the story about that? That sounds fucked. Oh, dudes, I saw this video yesterday with my wife. You guys know that... I'm gonna put it right here. You guys know about those Vice videos they put out where they have... There was like one, it was like black conservatives and black liberals debate or discuss Trump and the, and racism and all this other shit, right? And then they did one recently, like, I don't know, last week or something, about LGBTQ people talking about politics and race and stuff. And Blair White was on it. It was like a panel. Did any of you guys see that? Or do you know about those things? Well, they released one the other day I think it was yesterday or the day before, that was like Latinos. Oh my god, it was just the worst. There were some based motherfuckers on that panel though. There was this one chick, she was badass too. She can get but she was quite based and red pilled on all of these matters. And like but the people that were like leftists about it, oh man, they were cringe. And then there was this one guy, he was like a college professor. He was the worst. And he claimed that he's not like that, he was like not a leftist but an independent, like he doesn't, you know, he doesn't have a dog in this race or whatever. But the way that he talked, it was just ridiculous. Like it was all about systems and binaries and constructs, and you know, he was trying to sound smart using really big words but not saying anything of any substance, especially when you know you've heard all this shit before. But it was bad, but interesting. All right, so I'm gonna try to. This guy's got a tattoo. I just gave him one. Sometimes I think that the calibration on this is a little bit off. It feels a little bit off. All right. Okay. Let me just save where I'm at real quick. Like Michael Eric Dyson. Yeah, basically it was Miguel Enrique, you know, Disones or whatever. He was basically like a Hispanic version. Michael, I'll have to check it out later. Yeah, it was interesting. It was clearly biased, though. It was clearly biased. I mean, obviously it's Vice. And the woman they... Oh, here was the best part. I love this bit. So the woman who was the moderator, which she was clearly not. She was always playing devil's advocate when it comes to had the right-wing views, but always letting like the left-wing people just say whatever their piece was and be in their truth and all that. But this woman who was like the moderator, supposedly, she hosted a show, or at least that's how she opened up, by saying that she hosted a show called Latinx on Vice, where she talks about the Latino community and stuff, right? And she asked, she didn't like bring it up at that moment, but that's how she opened it up. But like towards the end of the discussion, she asked the Latinos what they thought about the term Latinx, right? To find out what they thought about that. And no one agreed that Latinx should be a thing. They were all against it. Everybody. Except for the professor, because for whatever reason they didn't show his answer. They left it out. It's probably because he probably had a really good reason not to like it. And he was probably the most against it, maybe. And also came across as the most credible. But, yeah, so, like, no one was for this. I was so glad. Latinx is, it needs to die as a term. It really does. So, I don't know. The SJW language, reprogramming, it's not hitting everyone. It's not like something that everyone is getting into. So, all right. So these guys are done. Let me remove the lines underdrawing here. That's good. Was he gender atypical? Well, he was small. He was a small bean. You're talking about the professor. No, there was one guy that was, I think he was supposed to be dressed up like he was in a tribe. He was wearing like tribal clothing or something. He appeared to be a little bit light in the loafers. But I don't know about the professor. He was wearing a polo shirt and he was just, you know, saying that we need to deconstruct. And of course he said all the usual buzzwords, but also claimed to not be in the political left or right, you know, because he doesn't like binaries at all. And so I think this is like the next form of social justice, is that there are no binaries anywhere. And that means the left and the right, you know, should not be treated as a binary, which I agree with, because I think politically more people are in the middle somewhere than on the far left or the far right. But the problem is that he still believes that his position is not on the left when it obviously is, and that people who don't share his position are morally inferior because they're not accepting his framework. And that, I think that's the important thing, is that, you know, they don't want you to necessarily call yourself something, but they want you to accept their framework as absolute. And if you don't, then it means you're a bigot, or you're allowing bigots to control you. Okay, this way. Anyway, I thought it was interesting, but let's see. I want to go and see what you guys were saying about the 17-year-old girl. The feminists are demanding women only internet now. Let them have it. They can have it. Dude, that would be amazing. Let's segregate the internet. Let's put all the women's websites in one place and all the men's websites in the other place. Let's see. The Great Indoors. I saw a snippet from Atheism is Unstoppable about a panel of two black females versus a white actress about adopting black children. I talked about that yesterday. That was Jada Pinkett Smith and some other black woman and the chick from Sex and the City talking about adopting black children and how it's racist for white people to do it, and asking the question, should they be allowed to do it? Ridiculous. I mean, just follow this stuff down to its logical conclusion. And you're basically making white people do things that are literally racist because you want them away from your black people, even if they're meaning well and they're trying to help. Also, why do we even take what a woman who didn't want to actually have biological kids with a man, why do we take what they have to say about families seriously if they're not even, like, if they don't see a value in it themselves, you know? A normal, biologically and mentally healthy woman that wants a family wants her babies. She wants her babies, and she wants a good man to have those babies with. That's not a tradcon argument. That's just the truth. That's just the way it is. You know, I have problems with the way that tradcons organize themselves, in particular of how they treat men. I do. However, the fact is that that model is the model. It is the model. We just want to make it ideal for men. Let me see. You can't post the link in your phone. There's an article on the Mirror about it. It's about the 17-year-old girl. Yeah, obviously Latinx violates the language itself, absolutely, because the language of Latin and a lot of other languages, they're gendered. They have gendered words. So you'd have to literally get people to stop talking Spanish the way that it's been talked all this time. But that's not happening. What is the definition of a good man? That's a big word. I guess a man who exemplifies positive masculine traits. And I think most masculine traits are positive. No one has to like him. His value doesn't come from other people. You know? Men are good. Why do you ask that question? I don't like that looks. That's better. Whenever somebody's like, let's ban men from the internet, or let's make a woman's only group, like let's make a woman's only group, it's almost always lesbians. They always advocate for some kind of separation between the sexes when they're in the group with the women in private. Their utopia would be Earth with only women in it. Lesbians! Okay. There aren't many MRAs that make me ashamed to talk about the MRA community. Lots of lies, but not many people. Lies? What do you mean?
She is a lesbian.
Thank you, Jesse. All right. Lie about the community. Oh, lies about the community. Sure. No, for sure. I mean, like, you know, I'm sure if you really tried, you could find some toxic people in the MRM. But that just means that they were like that already, for the most part. You know, they were just going down a. Let's rotate this a little bit, because I'm trying to get this. There we go. Let's do it that way. Oh, they're just saying whatever because they fear MRAs. Of course, yeah. I mean, like, I'm still debating with there. Well, I'm not even debating, but there is a thread on my Twitter that's still going because I think Takedown MRAs made a post saying that MRAs talking about male suicide is them just weaponizing this problem to attack feminism. And I said, so you have a bigger problem with the way in which the discussion around male suicide potentially harms feminism than you have a problem than you do with male suicide itself. And I was like, can you imagine thinking that feminism as an ideology is more important than men dying? And I couldn't believe how many feminists came out of the woodwork. Well, I mean, of course I could. What am I talking about? And we're like, still running cover for feminism as an ideology. Still running cover for it. Like, they can't handle it. If it's not about them, you know, it's not allowed as a discussion. And this just how bad it is. It just shows how bad it is. How are we doing here? Let me see. I mean, that looks good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, this is coming together. These are some pretty good looking pages, I must say. That's evil. It is. It is. Imagine, like, oh, that's because they don't want to put any blame on feminism, even though feminism drive to create. Oh, you deleted the thing while I was reading it. God damn it. Well, I know that they don't, because their label is more important than, like, actual issues. That's all it is. It's just like I said. The label is more important than... And this is the reason why I don't believe the MRM could ever be like feminism. Well, for one, I don't think that people will ever care about men to that extent, where they'll actually, like, try to erase female suffering. That'll never happen. It'll never happen. But for two, the MRM can't become like a giant money-making machine that is dependent on its own perpetuation of victimhood to survive. It's just not possible. You don't think that Dean Esme is Takedown MRAs, do you? Nah. He travels in slightly different circles. Actually, when I had done the show with Bob Lewis, the guy, also known as, I think, DDJ, on his channel, I appeared on his channel for a chat, and Dean was in there. He was also in our fireside chat. Like, he must have been following Bob Lewis or something. But yeah, he was in there talking about how we, you know, engage in orgies and or whatever, that we stole the name Honey Badgers and it was his idea and all that. I don't know why people are so attached to that. Like, if we didn't call ourselves Honey Badgers like tomorrow, do you think that it would change much? I don't think it would change much. And I don't have anything against Dean. I still don't. I hope he, you know, I hope he's okay. That's all I'm saying. Because I enjoyed his contributions, and like I said, I don't have anything against them. So but yeah, he's got a problem with us. That's wrong. There we go. Aren't you out of time? Yeah, I'm just gonna finish this guy, this Elijah right here, and then I will I'll move on, or I'll call it, because I gotta take the dogs for a walk, and I think we're doing a fundraising stream today, where we're gonna keep going through Knowing Better's video. It's gonna be Karen and Allison and myself. So I got to get that set up. And yeah, so I am going to quit, but I feel like I need to get to a certain point to where I'm happy before I do. There we go. And elbow. Let's see what you guys are saying. Toxicity found anywhere means that that area or group is toxic. However, toxicity found in any left-wing group is down to the individual or individual anomaly that needs to be excised. Or, you know, protected. You basically just change the conversation. You make it about mental illness or something. Or you make it about, you know, like, oh, well, you know, they were separated from their kids at the border or something. You basically come up with an excuse. And I mean, I try to like figure out what the causes of things are. That's why I was like talking about the Antifa terrorists yesterday in a light that some people may have mistaken for sympathy. It's not. But it is a desire to understand, right? I think that if that man wasn't as broken as he was, he may have been a little bit less likely to try to do that. And I think, you know, where that comes from. It's good to understand. All right. How's that? Okay, I'm going to straighten this out because it wasn't straightened out. And we'll zoom out. This is where we are so far on page 3. Let's see how this looks without the underdrawing, just to see. I mean, I don't need this anymore anyway. Yeah, it looks good. He's relaxed and reminiscing. See a little thing I need to clean up. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna save where I'm at, and we're gonna wrap this up. I'll look at your comments one more time. Whew! Hit that like button if you could. Okay. Black Knight Fool. It's not the label. It's the religion. It's the mythology behind it. Yeah, exactly. I don't think the MRM would work that way. And there's a number of reasons why not. Micah, orgies. So there is a chance I'll get laid at ICMI. Yeah, that's right. Just as long as you have like some goat's blood for Baphomet, then you'll be able to be a part of the action. Okay. So we will have a blue ball pit. Yeah, that's good. Great indoors with the puns. Richard Byer says, check with the CBC and see if they will let us call ourselves the Possum Lodge. Oh. Vampirella #1 today, just saying. Exploding Pretty. Thank you. I haven't read it yet, so here's hoping we don't get hoodwinked. Yeah, I can't wait to start doing more and more comics, maybe as for a living. If I get a chance to do like sexy woman comics, shit. All right, so anyway, it's time for me to wrap this up. Thanks, guys, for coming on the Comicsgate art stream. Leave me a comment if you could. Also, give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Plus, hit the bell for notifications so you know when my shows go live. You'll get a notification. I often drop links in the Discord just beforehand too, but you know, because I'm basically scraping to get as many viewers as possible. However, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I'll see you guys later on tonight, in fact. I think about 8 o'clock Eastern time for our fundraising stream with Karen and Allison and myself. So, with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks, guys, for coming on. I'll talk to you later.